this just delays the trip. It doesn't cancel the trip. But what do you think your father would think the role of a private company handling this, or ostensibly leading the charge on this? What do you think he'd say?
Oh, I think he was always for it. I think he would say it was great. I think commercialization is the way to get more people up there, more excitement. Americans going back up to the moon or up into space from American soil is what he was very passionate about and thought it should happen. And so I think the fact that going commercial is the way, it's the way of the future, and it's the way to make things happen.
All right, Tracy, I want to thank you very, very much. Always good having you, especially today. For those of you just watching here, seconds ago, NASA has scrubbed the SpaceX launch. There was inclement weather in the area, lightning and what have you. This just didn't concern what's happening in the Cocoa Beach or Cape Canaveral area. It really has to include an area going more than 1,100 miles up the East Coast because of the possibility of an emergency landing on the part of the crew. And so the conditions have to be favorable all the way up to accommodate that. Again, from NASA Administrator Bridenstine, no launch for today. The safety for our crew was paramount. What do we have now, guys? Who's available for us? All right, Rex Wallon joins us right now. A colleague of the astronaut is on board this flight, probably feeling a little bit frustrated, but he was with Commander Hurley on that last shuttle flight. When you look at this, Rex, I mean, you're used to this sort of thing. It happened, a mission scrub in the last seconds. But what goes through the crew's thoughts when they hear that?
Well, it's a range of emotions during a launch day because you never know what day you're really going to launch. You have a scheduled launch day, but you don't know what it's going to be like. So you prepare, and you prepare like you prepare for the Super Bowl, but you don't know what day the Super Bowl is on exactly. So just before you're about to run on the field, Bob and Doug are told, back to crew quarters. But this is part of space flight. It's what keeps you on your toes and keeps you interesting. So they're used to this kind of thing, and they knew this was a possibility. So they'll be able to head back to crew quarters, prepare a little bit more, get a little more sleep, and be ready to go for the next launch attempt.
Right, the next launch time, from what we hear, Rex, is going to be 3:22 p.m. on Saturday. They have to time this to the millisecond, I guess, with a hookup eventually with the International Space Station, about 214 miles up there, and it's anyone's guess how long eventually, when they do launch, they'll be up there. The thinking was it could be anywhere from a few weeks to a few months. What does that depend on?
It depends on how the vehicle operates. So, as you know, it's a test flight, so they're going to, test all the systems out. And one of the systems they definitely need to test out is the solar arrays on the Dragon capsule. So they want to make sure that it lasts as long and has the robust capabilities that they think it extend the mission. They love having those guys up there because when Bob and Doug are up there, they've increased the size of the U.S. crew to 3 people. And that allows us to get a lot of more science done, and it also is the chance to get to do some spacewalks. Right now, Chris is up there alone, Chris Cassidy. And so you throw Bob Behnken in the mix, you have a really good EVA team, and they want to use those guys and do some spacewalks.
Obviously, it doesn't matter whether it's a privately funded or publicly funded the space capsule, where all of the mercy of Mother Nature. This particular rocket has that escape ability that if things get untoward, the astronauts can jettison themselves darn near orbit. What do you think of that technology?
It's great. It just shows you how smart the Apollo guys were and the teams before that had escape systems on their rockets. And so we learned that lesson, and this is a great step forward for both the SpaceX vehicle and the Boeing vehicle, and also the Orion vehicle, which will end up going to the moon, because they have this ability to pull away from the rocket if the rocket is having problems, and that really significantly increases your safety factor. So that's a step forward we like with these commercial crew vehicles.
Rex, I'm just going to briefly interrupt you there for just a second here. For those of you just tuning in, the liftoff of SpaceX and this capsule delayed now until Saturday because of weather. There was lightning, inclement weather, not only in the immediate area, but up along the east coast of the United States, where unfavorable conditions that had looked unlikely. In fact, Bridenstine, the NASA administrator, had indicated that things were a go as recently as about 4 minutes ago, no longer ago now, but abundance of caution and safety. They'll suit up, retry again. on Saturday. Rex, did you have any idea, looking back at that 2011 mission with Doug Gurley, the 53-year-old astronaut on board with Bob Behnken, that he would return, but in a different role, almost a decade later?
No, that was a great surprise. I'm really happy for Doug. He's gonna have a great time. You know, when we flew SES-135, we brought up an American flag that we put on the space station. It was to be brought home by the first crew after us that launches from the United States. Little did we know that Doug would be bringing that flag home, it looks like. So I was pretty excited that Doug gets to do this. And Doug being a test pilot, you know, he just loves a chance to fly the first flight of a vehicle. So he's gonna really have fun on this flight.
Finally, I want to get your very quick thoughts on private companies doing this. There are others competing, but it's a much more crowded space these days. If you think about it, Rex, from China and obviously the Russians, we've seen a host of other countries expanding and doing this. And I'm just wondering, I was reading some of the figures on China's space efforts. I don't know if this is true, but that they eclipse all others combined. What do you think of that, the role China plays? Obviously, our own tense relations now with China. Some critics have said that its missions aren't entirely in peace. What do you make of that?
Well, I think, you know, I'm not sure what the future lies for them, but it spurs us all on. You know, the competition is good, and we want to be the best. So the more competition we have, the more chances we can be the best. And that's what SpaceX and Boeing are doing. And our partners with Orion, with Lockheed Martin, we're building new vehicles, new rockets, new spaceships. It's incredible that the period of time right now we're developing 3 different spaceships: Boeing, SpaceX, and Orion. It's absolutely amazing, and they're all doing great. And we're kind of entering a new golden age of spaceflight. So it really is pretty exciting.
It very much is. You made it that way. Rex, well, I want to thank you, NASA astronaut. Much more. He's a very instrumental role in continuing the space enthusiasm that now, even with the weather, continues today. As I just told you, the mission scrubbed today because of inclement weather. I guess lightning was a big factor in the area. Phil Keating on all that. Phil?